Selamat datang para tamu sekalian di Desa Tomok, pintu gerbang Pulau Samosir. Saat ini kita berada di makam kuno kuburan batu Raja Siabutar yang sudah berusia 450 tahun. Sebelum saya memulai penjelasan tentang tempat ini, marilah sama-sama kita mengucapkan Horas 3 kali, sebagai salam untuk penduduk sekitar. Horas, Horas, Horas. Baiklah. Kata Tomok berasal dari kata mok-mok yang artinya gemuk atau subur. Dahulu kala sekitar abad 15, desa ini terkenal dengan desa yang subur, dipimpin oleh seorang raja yang bijaksana.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ajeng. Now, in this video, I will translate about the sentence of the story from Siti Deliani. To all guests, welcome to Tomok Village, the gateway to the island of Samosir. Okay, now we're in the ancient tomb of King Sidabutar stone, which is in 450 years. Before I begin my explanation of this place, let's say Horas in 3 times as a greeting to local residents. Horas, Horas, Horas. Alright, the word of Tomok was come from Mokmok, which is its mean fat or fertile. Once upon a time, around the 15th centuries, this village was famous. This is famous for the fertile village and led by the wise king.
Nama raja tersebut adalah Ompo Soribuntu Sidabutar. Ini makamnya. Sebelum ia wafat, ia berwasiat kepada rakyatnya agar bila ia wafat, tidak menguburnya dalam tanah, tetapi di dalam sebuah peti batu. 7 hari setelah kematiannya ditanam pohon harihara. Hari artinya hari, hara artinya 7. Di atas makam ini ada selendang 3 warna, hitam, merah, dan putih.
The king's name is Ompu Soribuntu Sidabutar, and this one his grave. Before he died, he arbitrated his people, so when he died, he did not bury him in the ground, but in a stone coffin. 7 days after he died, the Harihara trees was planted. Hari, it means day, and Hara means is 7. Above this tomb there is a crown of 3 colors, black, red, and white.
Ini melambangkan 3 dunia, alam dewa, manusia dan hewan, serta alam kegelapan. Banua Ginjang, Banua Tonga, Banua Turu. Kemudian, seperti yang kita lihat bersama, ada sosok patung anak kecil di depan atas kuburan ini. Patung ini melambangkan cucu raja ini. Semasa hidupnya, raja ini sangat sayang dengan cucunya, sehingga kemanapun pergi selalu digendongnya di bahunya. Ia berharap suatu saat kelak cucunya ini akan memiliki kekuasaan yang melebihinya.
This represent of the 3 worlds, the realm of God, humans, and animals, as well as the realm of darkness. It's Banua Ginjang, Banua Tonga, Banua Turu. Then, as we saw together, there was the statue of the little boy died pen over this grave. These statues are symbols of the grandson of the king. During his life, the king was loves of his grandson, so that wherever he goes, he is always carried on his shoulder. He hopes that one day his grandson will have more power than him.
Nama cucunya tersebut adalah Ompu Soribuntu Niujung Barita Sidabutar. Gelarnya Raja Naibatu. Gelar ini diberikan karena ia memiliki watak dan kemauan yang keras seperti batu.
His grandson's name is Ompu Soribuntu Ni Ujung Barita Sidabutar. His title is Naibatu. This title was given because he has a character, strong and will like a rock. Setelah Raja Sidabutar mangkat, ia digantikan oleh cucunya ini. Dan ini makamnya. Raja kedua ini terkenal dengan kesaktiannya dan ketampanannya. Dia disegani baik kawan maupun lawannya. Semasa hidupnya dia tidak pernah memotong rambutnya yang panjang karena itu adalah letak satrianya.
After King Sidabutar died, he was replaced by his grandson. This is his final resting place. The second king is famous for his magic and good looks. Both friends and opponents hold him in his regard. During his life, he never cut his long hair because that is where his magic lies.
Dan apabila ia berhasil membunuh musuhnya, ia akan menyapukan darah musuhnya ke muka dan rambutnya yang panjang, sehingga bertambahlah kesaktiannya. Di bagian bawah makam terdapat ukiran patung pria memakai peci. Ini melambangkan Tengku Moh Said dari Aceh. Beliau diutus Sultan Aceh untuk menyebarkan agama Islam ke tanah Batak, namun gagal karena pengaruh kepercayaan Parmalin yang sangat kuat pada masa itu. Akhirnya beliau bersahabat dengan Raja Naibatu dan diangkat sebagai panglima perang kerajaan.
If he succeeds in slaying his enemy, he will wipe the blood of his enemy on his face and his long hair, so that his power increase. There's a carved statue of a guy wearing a cap at the bottom of the tomb. It represents Tengku Moh Said of Aceh. He was dispatched by the Sultan of Aceh to propagate Islam among the Bataks, but he failed because of the heavy influence of the Parmalin faith at the time. Eventually, he made friends with King Naibatu and was made the royal warlord.
Di bagian belakang malam terdapat patung wanita membawa mangkuk di kepala. Ini adalah Anting Malela Borusinaga, kekasih raja yang merupakan wanita tercantik di Pulau Samosir. Namun sayang, di hari pernikahan mereka, tiba-tiba Anting Malela berubah pikiran, menolak sang raja untuk menjadi suaminya. Ternyata ada raja lain yang diam-diam jatuh hati dan mengirim guna-guna kepadanya. Raja Naibatu merasa malu dan murka di depan para undangan.
At the back of the night, there is a statue of a woman carrying a bowl on her head. These are Anting Malela Borusinaga, the king's sweetheart, and the most beautiful woman on Samosir Island. However, on the day of their wedding, Anting Malela abruptly changed her mind and refused to marry the king. It turns out that another monarch is secretly in love with her and sent her magic. King Naibatu felt ashamed and angry in front of the guests.
Dengan kesaktiannya, dia berusaha menyembuhkan Anting Malela. Karena ada dua kekuatan hitam dan putih dalam tubuh Anting Malela, akhirnya dia menjadi gila. Anting Malela lari ke hutan dan tidak ada yang tahu kemana rimbanya.
With his magic, he tried to heal Anting Malela because there are two folds of black and white in the body of Anting Malela. She finally went crazy. Anting Malela ran into the forest and no one knew where she was.